But Brandon, let's move on into our final topic. End out the second podcast. This is a second podcast. We're double dipping this week.
It's been a long night
for the Primetime Podcast, mainly because of so much going down, and we got to talk playoffs. We had to talk coaching changes, and this one, we weren't really, I was like, Chip Kelly signed. I kind of want to hit it, but we already had talked about Chip Kelly last week and what it would mean for UCLA, and now that they got him, that doesn't change. So one thing that I was going to bring up, because you brought this idea to my mind in a text message. I have not seen anything about this. This is just pure speculation on our part and just asking the question, now that Chip Kelly is at UCLA, should Josh Rosen stay with Chip Kelly? What do you think?
Well, the reason why I had texted you was because when I was watching Fox NFL Sunday this past Sunday, one of the things that Jay Glazer had brought up.
You sure it wasn't on Saturday? Fox NFL Sunday? You sure it wasn't on Saturday?
Oh, you're funny. You are funny.
But what did Jay say?
One of the things that he had said in one of his reports was that, you know, how people have said, you know, Josh Rosen, he's going to go to the NFL. And Jay Glazer said, well, maybe not so fast. Because with Chip Kelly coming in, he may very well want to stay his final season. So that's one of the reasons why I brought it up to you, because I thought that seemed to be interesting and something that we should talk about. I think that Chip Kelly can do enough for Josh Rosen to stay there. Just with everything that Chip Kelly was able to do with, I mean, everything we've talked about already, with what he was able to do with Marcus Mariota over in Oregon and what he was able to do with that offense, I think Josh Rosen would be excited for what he would be able to do in that type of offense in his final season. He's a top 5 quarterback if he goes to the NFL. But does he want to potentially try and win at UCLA? Well, what's more important?
That's what it comes down to. And I've heard this kind of debate before of Darnold to Rosen, and I remember a while ago, like a couple months ago on the Dan Patrick Show, that somebody had mentioned if it's all in Rosen's mind of what does he want? If he wants to win in college and he wants to win a national championship, stay. If you don't and don't want to deal with college life anymore, get out, go to the NFL. And it's all going to come down to, do you want to stay in college, not getting paid another year, risking an injury, because that's really the big point, or do you want to go ahead and get paid? And the thing right now that I really don't know. Like, I want to say, like, oh, he's going to stay in school. But then there's a part of me that's like, really the weight is, and this is what the two sides are, on one side, I know I'm going to be a top pick. I'm projected to be a top pick. If Darnold stays, that even helps my draft case even better. And there are even people out there that are saying that I would be the better pick right now than Sam Darnold. There's also the other side of, man, if I come back, can you imagine what me and Chip Kelly could do? Because you look at this, the things that Chip Kelly were able to do, the quarterbacks that he had from 2007 to 2012 while he was in Oregon, Dennis Dixon in his senior year, he had Jeremiah Masoli, but then Darren Thomas. These are the Oregon teams I remember. Darren Thomas, but then that last year, Marcus Mariota. Man, Marcus Mariota, I know Marcus Mariota went to the college football playoff in the year with Mark Helfrich, but he did go to he was a North co-champion for the Pac-12 and then beat Kansas State in the Fiesta Bowl that year. So it's like, man, could you imagine what we can do if we were able to go? That Oregon team went 12-1 that year. Their only loss in the Pac-12 was to number 14 Stanford, who was, I believe, the number 1 team in the country that year.
I think that it's really an interesting point, and it's really something interesting to bring up. So how about this? So Chip Kelly, when he was with Oregon, what kind of quarterback did he have with Marcus Mariota?
Mobile.
He had a mobile quarterback.
Who could throw.
What is Josh Rosen mainly right now? A throwing quarterback. If he stays and Chip Kelly is able to work with him and he with Chip Kelly, I think that he could add rushing to his repertoire of things that he's able to do. I think he would turn into not a running quarterback, but he would certainly be able to be a guy who maybe is able to get out and run a little bit more of like an Alex Smith in a sense, where Alex Smith, he doesn't run all the time, but when he does, he's pretty good at it. He is a mobile guy, and he had to be for all of his years at San Francisco. He could never throw it, but that's something I think could really help Rosen and add another layer with him. You're not just a passing quarterback. You can also move with your legs. You can get away from the pressure. If the pocket is collapsing, you can get out of there. You're not just going to go down like an Eli Manning who can't run worth a darn. Neither of the Manning brothers can. But that alone, adding another thing to your repertoire would make, I feel like, someone want to stay in college. Josh Rosen want to stay in college. He can learn a lot of things from Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly is a very, very good head coach. Now, is he going to work everywhere he goes? No, he's not. But another thing that Chip Kelly can bring, he can bring the NFL to Josh Rosen. He can talk to him about it. He can say, hey, I coached there. What do you want to know? What can we talk about with it? That's another layer. I mean, I don't know how much you would be telling him and talking to him about it, but
I mean,
that's someone good to talk to about, hey, I'm thinking NFL right now. Well, let me tell you why not to go yet.
Well, and I mean, obviously Chip Kelly's going to tell him not to go because he's going to want Josh Rosen for his first year at UCLA, but that's an interesting thing that Chip Kelly didn't have when he was a coach at Oregon that I wasn't even thinking about that you just brought up. Like, you want to go to the NFL? I know about the NFL. I can get you ready for the NFL. Although I didn't pan out in the NFL, doesn't mean my experiences are diddly poo, to quote Jim Morris Sr. Oh, wait, sorry. Am I allowed to quote the dad when I took the son's job? My point being is he can then learn from Chip Kelly in that way. Another thing that plays into this, I know this is dipping into onside kick territory, but who's going to draft you? Right now, the number 1, number 2 pick are the Browns and the 49ers. 49ers don't need their quarterback. They've got Jimmy Garoppolo. That Garoppolo kid is pretty good. However, the Browns, they're a tricky one. They could trade the pick. They could draft a quarterback. They could not go quarterback at all. However, if you fall to number 3, then you're getting a team that'll probably take you, New York. Then you're sitting at kind of a two-pronged system. It's good because you'll probably sit behind Eli, and to me...
Maybe not for long.
Not for long, but for me, it'll then come down to the weight of, do I want to stay in college and learn, or do I want to go to the NFL, get paid, and learn while I'm getting paid to get to get taught in the NFL and learn from NFL guys? The negative, though, with New York, and this will always be a negative, New York, whether it's the Jets or the Giants, they will always need a special breed of quarterback. The reason why, that media in New York is relentless. You make one bad pass, they're down your throat before you can even open your mouth at the press conference. So it also comes into that. Can I deal with the pressure that would come of being a quarterback in New York with that media, with that pressure that they put on it? Also, you got Denver, who's right there. Yeah, they got Paxton Lynch. What if they draft someone? You're telling me I get to go to a team with John Elway, and I get to kind of pick the brain of John Elway? Many things are going to go into this. And this is why with this one, I'm like, well, this is what I would do. And with this one, I really don't know, because is Josh Rosen good enough to go to the NFL this year? You're damn right he is. However, I would prefer him go to a team like a New York where he wouldn't have to start right away and have the Aaron Rodgers treatment of let me sit for a year or 2, maybe 3 years before that kind of legacy quarterback is pushed out of the way. But if he went to college, he would still be able to learn from Chip Kelly. And I don't think he would drop in a year, but however, we all thought Matt Barkley wouldn't drop in a year. And look what happened to Matt Barkley. Top 5 pick.
Who's Matt Barkley?
And then he fell all the way. So, I mean, there's 2 sides to every coin, and that decision for Josh Rosen is not going to be an easy one.
So, it's not going to be an easy one. Here's one of the interesting things is that So many people that are talking about this right now are saying that there's nothing out of the question next year with Chip Kelly being there at UCLA. That with Sam Darnold most likely leaving and going to the NFL, Josh Rosen, you stay, the sky is the limit. UCLA could be running the tables in this thing. You could be winning the Pac-12 championship next year. You could be doing all of this with Chip Kelly. They're saying none of that's out of the question. That's huge. Here's another thing. Rosen could be, if he stays, one of the top Heisman picks next season. Reason being, how about this one? Chip Kelly, former Oregon quarterback Dennis Dixon. Who the hell is Dennis Dixon? That's what people are probably trying to remember. They had no idea who that was.
I covered him when I used to write for ottsandzoo.com.
Unknown quarterback to Heisman contention in 2007.
Yep.
That is absolutely incredible. So if Chip Kelly, I'm not saying Chip Kelly's going to do that with every single player he's got, but
none of those players except for Marcus Mariota have been on the level of Josh Rosen.
Exactly. I would say you already have a guy in Josh Rosen who is known, who has proven many things to people, who has shown that he's a really good talent. If he stays, really the sky's the limit for both of them, Rosen and Kelly. Because the things that, again, I mentioned it earlier, the things that they'll be able to teach each other, the things that they'll be able to learn from one another, that's going to go a long ways. I hope that Josh Rosen makes the best decision for him, because that's all that matters. He's the only one that matters when it comes to him. But I do see so many positives
in staying.
With staying, because if Jim Moore is the coach still, go.
Yeah.
But Chip Kelly's come in.
So much potential.
And there's so much potential. Again, I'm not saying Chip Kelly can save it all.
Yeah.
Maybe everything we're saying doesn't happen.
Can I throw another positive out there?
Yes, but at the same time, who's saying that you're going to go into the NFL this year and everything's going to be hunky-dory? You're probably going to have to play for the Browns. That sucks. I'm sorry. There's no getting around it.
And who knows what happens during your combine or during your pro days. And the whole thing, I brought it up earlier with, well, do you want to stay in college and risk getting an injury again? Let's be completely honest. There have been players that go to the combine and get injured. What was it, Shane Ray? Wasn't he injured around the combine? And everyone was speaking about, how's this going to affect his draft stock? And then he got drafted by, it was either Shane Ray or the linebacker who got drafted, that I'm blanking on his name, got drafted by the Falcons. There was Shane Ray for the Broncos, but someone else who got drafted by the Falcons had injury concerns at the combine. So it can happen anywhere is my point. Another positive, when I look at the offensive side of the ball, you're losing offensive line, you're for sure losing your center and your left guard. But other than that, for sure you're losing Darren Andrews at wide receiver. Barring any juniors who leave, you can have Theo Howard staying. You could have Jordan Lasley who's staying. You have Felton, who's a redshirt freshman this year, would be staying. You could have both of your running backs in Bolu and Jamambo, who are staying. Most of your guys on offense are staying. You've got Jordan Wilson, who is the starting tight end right now. He's a redshirt freshman. The core of this offense is still there.
Yeah.
Now, I know your center and your left guard are changing, and it's always big losses when you lose offensive guys. But just the potential of keeping that unit together and infusing Chip Kelly. Now, it's all great us talking about it now.
Of course.
Could all change in the spring, could all change in the summer, but that's got to be enticing. And this is going to be, I'll say this is going to be the hardest decision that Josh Rosen is going to make in his life because Chip Kelly got hired. Do I stay or do I go?
I would absolutely agree with you. And that's one of the other big points. It's that it's not just going to be Josh Rosen that's there. They're not losing a lot. They're not losing a lot at all. These guys are remaining intact. That's the big thing. That's the big thing when it comes down to it, is that it's not just Josh Rosen trying to throw to, rookie over here or freshman over here, freshman over here. He's got guys. He's got guys to go to. That is possibly one of the biggest points when it comes to talking about this and when it comes to Rosen thinking about it. It's that he has guys that he is going to be working with. That is the biggest thing, is that it's not just him and it's not just Chip Kelly. It's him, it's Chip Kelly, and it's all these other pieces around him.
Well, and I mean, I also look, there's 4 other teams, like how you mentioned how Darnold could be gone. That's USC taking a big hit. I look at Stanford. Yeah, their quarterback is young. They're bright, but I mean, they could lose Bryce Love. He's only a junior. Stanford's a team that I think will be really good. It's the other ones that I was going to bring up. Like Utah, their quarterback right now stays, but they're going to lose Troy Williams. He's going to be gone. They're going to lose, you've got Darren Carrington. He's going to be gone. They could lose wide receivers. Then the Washington, both their quarterbacks are gone. You've got Jake Browning, who is probably going to be gone this year. And then you've got Luke Falk. And I know Jake Browning, it could be one of those where it says on our lads he's a junior, so he could stay. But I mean, Luke Falk, redshirt senior, he's gone. He is leaving. So the state of the Pac-12 could also be interesting. It comes down to one thing, and I can't answer this. You can't answer this. You sitting at home, unless your first name is Josh and your last name is Rosen, you cannot answer this unless that is the fact. And what do you value more? Coming back to college and winning, or going to the NFL and getting paid? Whichever one means more to you, that's what you do. That's what you do. It's that simple.
It is. It is that simple when it comes down to decision, but making the actual decision, there won't be anything simple about it.
Yeah.
There won't be anything simple about it because
you know it could also change the decision if T. Martin goes to the Vols. That's another loss for the Trojans in your own division.
But I'll be honest with you, Ricky. I would not want to be in Josh Rosen's shoes because it is one of, if not the biggest decision of your life. Do I stay in college, fight for a chance at a Pac-12 title and then a possible playoff run? Do I go to the NFL right now? No, I'm going to get paid great money. Gonna play for the Browns? Where are they going? Where are they going? I could stay and possibly win a national championship. Possibly. That's what it is for every team each year, right? You possibly could. I could go to the Browns. I could never win anything. Nothing. What's more important? What is more important on that? I know that may seem a little silly. Like, you're getting paid good money here. You're not getting paid anything here. That's important, I think, to a lot of guys. I really think it is.
You know, it's one thing that also can come into it that, I mean, not many people would think about, but I'll go ahead and throw it out there. How much fun do you want to have?
Exactly.
If you want to have fun, stay in school. Stay in school. You can have fun, still be a college quarterback. But if you want to go to the NFL, realize something. You're not going to be successful, you're not going to be that guy that is going out and having fun, especially in New York. They won't let you on boats anymore, so don't even try going on boats. They're outlawed in New York, especially with the Giants, with their wide receivers. But, I mean, that's why I think like a job like Cleveland wouldn't be the worst. What's there to do in Cleveland?
Johnny Manziel found plenty of things to do.
But Josh Rosen's not Johnny Manziel.
But I'm just saying, but you can't act then.
Yeah.
Like what you do. You are, the minute that you go into the NFL, what you're doing.
You're a professional.
It's not that. It's you are coming into the limelight no matter what you're doing. You don't, whether you're doing something awful or you're doing something great. Someone's trying to cover it. Someone's watching you, and it's not the same. They're doing the same thing right now with you in college, but you're protected more. You're not protected when you go into the NFL because it's open.
The way I see it is it's kind of like when you're just about to turn 18, where it's like you're more protected 16, 17, because you're technically still a minor. But once you turn that 18, it's like, oh, you know what? Now, if you do something wrong, you don't get that, well, he's just a kid. I'm talking about lesser offenses. That's like,
Yeah.
you know, an 18-year-old would probably spend the night in jail, but you know what? Just a kid, get out of here. If you're 18, you know what? You're spending the night in jail kind of a thing. Or like, you know what? We're gonna hold you to it because now you're an adult. Especially for like a guy, it's like you're a man now. You got to stand up for your actions. If you do something wrong, you got to do it. And I know this is totally off of Josh Rosen, but it goes into that of if you're going to go into the NFL, I'll tell Josh Rosen immediately, you got to be a guy that's going to come in early and leave late. You're not going to have room. You're not going to have time for fun if you're going to the NFL. That's how I would view it. If you want to have fun, stay in college.
I wouldn't want to say that you aren't going to have any time for fun because I think that everyone in the NFL finds time for fun, even Tom Brady.
In the offseason.
In the offseason.
That's what I'm saying.
But at the same time, shouldn't trying to game plan, watching film, trying to win, shouldn't that be fun?
I'm talking outside of the football. I'm talking fun outside of the facilities. That's what I'm talking about.
You can have that in every city, anywhere. If you have money and fame, you can have fun wherever you go.
No, but what I'm saying, if you want to be successful, like if you want to go to the NFL, you got to have the mindset that I just come in early, leave late, don't do anything stupid. Basically, if you want to
Rob Gronkowski
doesn't play quarterback.
Doesn't matter.
I think it does. The quarterback is the most like the quarterback is held to a different standard than everyone else.
I know, but what I'm saying though is that if Rob Gronkowski, I don't think has done anything wrong. He likes to go out and have a good time and everything like that. When he comes to play though, he's there to play. If you're doing the same type of thing and you are the quarterback, as long as you're hold on. You're doing nothing wrong. You're doing nothing illegal. You're not doing this on a week-to-week basis where you're going out at, if this is in the off season, there's no problem. But you can still have fun wherever you're at.
Two things. One, Gronkowski is the ultimate extreme, but I'll humor you here. Two,
he's the first guy I thought.
I know. Two, how many successful quarterbacks, I'm talking like really successful quarterbacks, do you know that acted anywhere? Like, and I'm not saying Gronkowski, like, oh, shun him for what he does. It's fine. He likes to party. Cool. But how many successful quarterbacks do you know acted like Gronk?
Zero.
Exactly.
So he was a bad example. But here's the whole thing. It doesn't come down to having fun, Ricky. I'm sorry. Like, it doesn't come down to having fun. When you go to the NFL, it's about winning. It's about winning. It's about being part of that team, that brotherhood that you've got. It's about going in and fighting for them each and every week.
You got to have that mindset.
That is winning. That is winning. That is fun. And don't say outside of football if you think they can't do it outside of football, because that's then a BS question. So that's what the fun is. Do you in the off season? But that is the fun. I honestly, I think if you ask Tom Brady, where do you have your fun? Coming in every week, coming in every morning. So don't try and act like they can't have fun.
No, and I'm not saying they're trying not have fun on the field. What I'm saying is, because college and NFL are vastly different. I'll phrase it this way: if you're not ready to be a pro, stay in school. That's how I'll simply do it. Taking fun out of the equation. Because, of course, you love to play football. You're going to have fun playing football. If you're not ready to be a pro, stay in school. That's how I'm going to describe it. However, that's only a microcosm of what's going into this decision, because there's a multitude of things that'll go into this that we have hit in this discussion.
And you know what? I don't even know if I can agree with that, because of the fact that I think that right now he would be ready to be a pro. But I think he's probably trying to weigh the option of, do I want to go be a pro right now? Or do I want to try and win something here and be a pro next year? He can do both.
I'm about to this is the first time I'm about to just strangle you across the table. Not saying he's not ready to be a pro.
You just said that in your last comment. You said if you're not ready to be a pro, if you're not ready to be a pro, stay in school. And
I can't answer that.
But I can't either. But I'm saying that I think he may be ready to be a pro, but wants to stay in school. And there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I am ready to be a pro. I could go this year if I wanted to, but I'm excited about what Chip Kelly and what we might be able to accomplish this year. Let me stay. Let me try and win something here. I go be a pro next year.
And that's fine. I'm saying I'm asking the question to Josh. If you are not ready, then stay. If you're ready to go pro, but you don't want to, sure, go ahead. It's your decision. I'm just saying if you're not ready. No, I'm not trying to say he is or he isn't. I don't know. Could he go pro today? Yes. But I don't know exactly inside the mind of Josh Rosen if he inside is I am ready to do everything it needs to be a pro. Because when I think of a quarterback and I think of a pro, I'm thinking Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, the guys where it's that's the guy I want Josh Rosen to be because I see the talent on the field and I just want I know that's what makes a successful quarterback, and it's if you have that with your talent that I already see, you will be a good quarterback in the NFL. Any final thoughts that you have on Josh Rosen and UCLA?
No, but I have a final thought on you. You need to make your questions a little bit more direct so I understand that it's a question.
Yeah, we need to go to therapy too. Me and Brandon just need to talk it out.
It's been a long night, okay? I am so tired and I'm sick and it's time to go home.
This is where I'm going to push the question onto you guys though. What do you guys think? Should Josh Rosen stay in school? Should he go to the NFL with this whole Chip Kelly hiring? I almost said situation, but it's a hiring. It's not a situation. With Chip Kelly coming in, should Josh Rosen stay or should he go? Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Also, a little bit of housekeeping here at the end of podcast numero dos. If you have not already, please check out patreon.com/most valuable podcast just for supporting, watching, liking, sharing. It would help us even more if you want to support us through Patreon. $10 a month. You can be on a podcast with us, any of the podcasts that we have on MVP. And then finally, please go into iTunes, give us that 5-star rating, give us a good review for the Primetime Podcast, the Onside Kick, the Fast Break, and the Rick and Johnny Podcast. I want to thank you guys for listening to this one. If you haven't listened to the other podcasts, please go ahead and listen to that too. A lot of great college football content coming at you this week. Thank you guys for watching, but as always, have a good day, everybody.